Manifestation, the word that launched 1,000 vision boards, a million journal prompts, and at least one person in your life who told you to just raise your vibration when you were going through something really hard. And look, I get it. I have been that person with the vision board. I have written my goals in present tense at 11:11. I have said affirmations in the mirror with varying levels of conviction. And some of it worked, and some of it absolutely did not. And for the longest time, I didn't understand why. If the law of attraction is real, if like attracts like, why wasn't it consistently working? The answer, when I finally found it, was not mystical. It was not about vibrations or the universe conspiring. Although I am whimsical and I have fun with this kind of stuff, but that's a separate thing. It was sitting in neuroscience and psychology the whole time, waiting for somebody to translate into something real. So, today, that's exactly what we are going to do. We are going to talk about what manifestation actually is, why it works when it works, why it fails when it fails, and the specific mistakes most people make that keep them stuck in the wishing phase forever. This is not a video that is going to tell you that manifestation is fake, but it is going to completely change how you understand it. I am Tanish, a certified hypnotherapist. Let's get into it. Let's start with the honest foundation. What is manifestation really? At its most essential, manifestation is the process by which your internal world, your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotional patterns, your subconscious programming, shapes your external reality. Not magically, not by sending signals to the universe that rearranges matter on your behalf, but through something far more fascinating, something called the reticular activating system, or RAS. Your RAS is a network of neurons at the base of your brainstem, and it functions as your brain's filter. Right now, in this moment, your five senses are receiving approximately 11 million bits of information per second: sounds, sensations, sights, smells, an overwhelming flood of data. Your conscious mind can only process about 40 of those bits per second. So your RAS decides based on what you have told it matters, what makes it through the filter and into your conscious awareness. Everything else gets discarded before you even notice it. Here is where it gets relevant to manifestation. When you genuinely believe something is possible for you, when it becomes a real expectation rather than wishful thought, your RAS starts filtering for evidence that confirms it. Opportunities that were always there suddenly become visible. People you needed to meet suddenly appear. Paths that existed all along suddenly come into focus. This is not the universe rearranging itself. This is your brain finally letting the right information through. And the reverse is equally true. If you believe deep down that something is not available to you, that you don't deserve it, that people like you don't get it, your RAS will filter out every piece of evidence to the contrary. The opportunities will be invisible. The doors will seem closed, not because they are, but because you literally cannot perceive them. This is the scientific core of manifestation, and it changes everything about how you approach it. Okay, now that we understand what manifestation actually is, let's talk about what it is not. Because the manifestation space is full of ideas that are not just ineffective, they're actively keeping people stuck. Myth number one: just think positive and it will come. This is the one that frustrates me the most. Because positive thinking alone, without subconscious alignment, it's like putting a fresh coat of paint on a crumbling wall. Your conscious mind can repeat, I'm abundant, I am worthy, money flows to me easily, 1,000 times. But if your subconscious, which controls approximately 95% of your behavior according to cognitive neuroscientist Bruce Lipton, is running a program that says you're not safe with money, you don't deserve good things, success is for other people, the affirmation does not stand a chance. The subconscious always wins, always. Positive thinking is a starting point, not a strategy. Myth number two: you just need to visualize it clearly enough. Visualization is genuinely powerful. Neuroscience confirms this. Studies show that mental rehearsal activates the same neural pathways as actually performing the action. Athletes use it, surgeons use it, it works. But here is what the vision board culture missed entirely: visualizing the outcome without visualizing yourself as the kind of person who has the outcome creates a psychological gap your brain cannot bridge. Imagining the dream apartment, the relationship, the income, while still feeling fundamentally like someone who doesn't have those things actually reinforces the distance between here and there. What actually works is psychologists called process visualization. Imagining yourself doing the things, making the decisions, embodying the identity of the person who has what you want, not just the destination, the becoming. Myth number three: if it hasn't come yet, you're not manifesting hard enough. This one causes so much unnecessary suffering. The idea that if your desire hasn't materialized yet, you must be doing something wrong, blocking it, not believing enough. This completely ignores the role of action, timing, skill building. Manifestation is not a replacement for effort. It's the internal condition that makes effort more effective, more directed, more sustainable. But you cannot meditate your way out of a situation that also requires you to do something about it. Myth number four: you need to feel good all the time to manifest. This one is perhaps the most harmful. The idea that unpleasant emotions like grief, anger, fear, doubt are blocking your manifestations has caused people to suppress perfectly valid human experiences in the name of keeping their vibration high. Suppressed emotions don't disappear, they go subconscious. And subconscious emotion is far more powerful at shaping your reality than a conscious feeling you're actively trying to work through. Processing your difficult emotions is not lowering your vibration, it's clearing the channel. Now, let me bring in the layers that I think would make this conversation complete. The philosopher William James, widely considered the father of modern psychology, wrote at the turn of the 20th century: the greatest revolution of our generation is the discovery that human beings, by changing their inner attitudes of their minds, can change the outer aspects of their lives. He wrote that before neuroscience existed as a field, before we understood the RAS, before we mapped the subconscious. And he already knew your inner world is not separate from your outer world, it is the architect of it. And in hypnotherapy, which works directly with the subconscious mind, we see this play out in the most tangible way. When someone feels stuck in their career, their relationships, their finances, the conscious story is almost always about external circumstances: the job market, the wrong partner, the economy. But when we go beneath the surface into the subconscious programs running in the background, we almost always find the same thing: a belief, usually formed early, usually running completely unexamined. I'm not the kind of person who succeeds easily. Good things don't last for me. I have to struggle to deserve anything. And here is the profound insight: that belief is not the truth. It's a conclusion a much younger version of you drew from a limited set of experiences, and it has been quietly directing your life ever since. Real manifestation work is not about tricking the universe, it's about finding those beliefs and, with patience and genuine inner work, rewiring them. That is where the magic actually lives. So, what does genuine, effective manifestation look like? Here is what the science, the psychology, and the hypnotherapy all agree on. Step number one: get specific about the identity, not just the desire. Instead of asking, what do I want? Ask, who do I need to become to have that? What does she believe about herself? How does she make decisions? How does she spend her time? How does she speak about herself and her life? Write it all down in detail, because you're not manifesting a thing, you're growing into a person. Step number two: find and name the counter belief. For every desire you have, there is almost always a subconscious counter belief quietly arguing against it. I want financial abundance, but I don't really think I'm capable. I want loving relationship, but I don't know if I'm truly lovable. I want to build something meaningful, but who am I to even think to do that? Journal this, sit with this. The counter belief is not the truth, but it has to be named before it can be healed. You cannot clear what you cannot see. Step number three, use embodiment, not just visualization. Instead of watching your dream life like a movie, step inside it. Close your eyes, feel the texture of it, the emotional quality of a day in that life, the specific feeling in your body of being that person, the ease, the confidence, the groundedness. Do this for 5 minutes daily, not as wishful thinking, but as genuine neural rehearsal. You're literally building new pathways, new expectations, a new normal for your RAS to filter toward. Step number four, take the identity aligned action. Every single day, ask yourself one question. What would the version of me who has already this thing do today? And then do that thing, not perfectly, not at full scale, but directionally. Because manifestation without action is just daydreaming, and action without the inner work is just exhausting effort that keeps hitting the same invisible ceiling. Together, they're genuinely transformative. Manifestation is real, but it is not magic. It is not passive, and it is not about feeling positive while ignoring the parts of you that still need healing. It's about deeply human, deeply scientific, deeply beautiful truth that who you believe yourself to be at the subconscious level shapes every single thing that you experience. Change that belief, do the inner work, take the aligned action, and watch what becomes possible. Not because the universe owes you anything, but because you finally stopped blocking yourself. Save this video, come back to it when you need a reset on what manifestation actually means. Share it with someone who has already been trying and wondering why it is not working. And subscribe, because this is the kind of conversation we have here every single time. I'll see you in the next one. You are more powerful than you know. Bye.